Hare Krishna. Today I will be speaking about Lord Nityananda. Lord Nityananda is the eternal associate of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Rarely is the name Nimai, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, taken without that of Nitai, Lord Nityananda. Mahaprabhu cannot be approached or understood without the mercy of Lord Nityananda, who is the cardinal guru of all universes and serves as an intermediary between Mahaprabhu and his devotees. He is the Lord's active principle in both creation and lila. He is the second body of Lord, manifesting as Balaram to Shri Krishna, Lakshman to Shri Ram, and Nityananda Prabhu to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All other forms and expansions of the Lord emanate from this second body. Nityananda Prabhu is thus the source of Sankarshan, all the Vishnus and Ananta Shesha. As Vishnu tattva, He and Advaita Acharya are worshipped in the same category as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In the manifested earthly lila, Nityananda Prabhu is senior to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by more than a decade. He is with the whitish complexion of Lord Balaram. His garments resemble a cluster of blue lotus flowers, and his effulgence is said to surpass the grandeur of a rising moon at sunset. He has a deep, melodious voice, constantly singing the glories of Shri Krishna, and carries a red stick with benedictions for the devotees, but feared by the demoniac. He has the carefree mood of a wild avduta, so absorbed is he in the love of Godhead, and no one knows what he will do next. Nityananda Prabhu was born on Ekachakra, a small village in present West Bengal, around the year 1474. His birth site is commemorated by a temple named Garbhashva and is visited by throngs of pilgrimage today. His father, Hadai Oja, and mother Padmavati were pious Brahmins originally from Mithila. Nityananda Prabhu was born on the auspicious 13th day of the bright fortnight of the month of Magha. As a child, Nitai, as Nityananda Prabhu was called, loved to enact the pastimes of Shri Krishna or Lord Rama. He did this so authoritatively and with such rapture that the entire village would be immersed in the love of Godhead. Nitai's favorite part was that of Lakshman, and he enacted it with so many apparently authentic scenes not described in the Ramayana that people would wonder if he was making it up or actually relishing his own pastimes. The village of Ekachakra was completely absorbed in the love of little Nitai, where he spent his first 12 years of his earthly life. In the 13th year, a travelling sannyasi, said to be the famous Lakshmipati Tirtha, enchanted by Nitai's devotion and service, requested Nitai from his parents as a travelling companion. His parents, bound by Vedic culture, could not refuse the request of a guest, and reluctantly parted with Nitai. However, devastated by the separation of Nitai, Hadai Pandit soon gave up his life. Nitai travelled with Lakshmipati Tirtha for about 12 years, during which he visited all the holy places in the country, reminiscent of the manner that Balaram travelled while the battle at Kurukshetra. Nitai is said to be later on initiated by Lakshmipati Tirtha. He also associated with another of Lakshmipati Tirtha's famous disciple, Madhavendra Puri, who, although his god brother was revered by Nitai, was a spiritual master. Madhavendra Puri is famous for establishing the sweet truth of Madhurya Ras, which later became an integral part of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Among the other disciples of Madhavendra Puri is Advaita Acharya and Ishwar Puri, the spiritual master of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Nityananda Prabhu met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in 1506 when he was 32 years old and the Lord 20 years. It is said that when Nityananda Prabhu reached the land of Nadia, he hid in the house of Nandan Acharya to heighten the ecstasy of meeting through separation. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, aware of the arrival of his eternal associate, thus dispatched Haridas Thakur and Srivas Pandit to search out Nitai, but they failed. Finally, unable to bear the separation any longer, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself went directly to Nityananda Prabhu, and the ecstasy of the meeting was so transcendental that everyone witnessing it were awed by the sublime experience. A temple called Sri Gaur Nityanand commemorates this meeting place in Nadia. Nityananda Prabhu, in his role as the original spiritual master, was instrumental in spreading the Yuga Dharma of Sankirtan all over Gaudiya Desh, Bengal, Orissa. His mercy knew no bounds, and people fortunate to come in contact with him were inundated with the love of Godhead. Fortunate were the people who tasted the nectar of his instructions. When Nityananda Prabhu returned to Bengal, at the request of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he decided to abandon his Avduta status and become a Grahastha, householder. He married Janava Devi and Vasudha, the two daughters of Suridas Sarakhel, who, the brother of Gauridas Pandit, who was an intimate associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the spiritual master of the famous Shyamananda Pandit. Nityananda Prabhu had a son, Veerachandra, and a daughter, Ganga Devi, from Vasudha. Soon after Vasudha passed away, and Janva Devi looked after the children, she later on initiated Veerachandra and also became an instructing spiritual master to the likes of Shyamananda Pandit, Srivas Pandit, and Narottam Das Thakur. Janva Devi is revered as a Vaishnavi, and she established the preeminent position of women in the Vaishnava tradition. Lord Nityanand wound up his earthly pastimes by merging into the deity of Krishna known as Bankim Ray, not far from Ekachakra, Vaishnava Acharyas emphatically state that people who try to understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu without getting the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu will never succeed. One must pray very sincerely to Lord Nityananda Prabhu as the Adi Guru, the original spiritual master, to be delivered to the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The presence of Nityananda Prabhu is always felt in the presence of one's own Guru, for the Guru is considered to be the living manifestation of Nityananda Prabhu's love and mercy, and his Shakti, power, is what gives the disciple the strength to perform the devotional services. Thank you. Hare Krishna.